friends, it's Doona here. So today we're going to dive deep into how to do Warrior 2 properly. Okay, so depending on each body, it's going to be a little bit different. So there's going to be some modifications, obviously, and just try to really focus on how your body is and listen to it, okay? So don't worry about how deep you go or how far your legs are or stuff like that. I want you to really pay attention to my cues and what's going to work best for you. Okay, so I'm going to go straight into the Warrior 2 on my right side. Okay, so first thing, in alignment, we always want to work from the ground up. Okay, so whatever our feet is obviously touching the floor in Warrior 2, so that's called our foundation. Your right toes will point straight forward. Right knee points straight forward with your right knee over the right ankle. Okay, so if your knee is back, that's okay. As long as your right knee does not pass the ankle, because this creates too much flexion, too much pressure on the knee. Okay, so either stacks directly over that ankle, which is the goal. We want to always, keep that goal. But if it goes back, that's okay. Okay. Now, this left foot, there's a lot going on with this back leg. Okay. So option 1, you're going to draw a line from your right heel towards the back arch. So the back arch of the foot is right in the middle of that foot. But for some, you could always do heel to heel alignment. So drawing that right heel, straight line towards the back heel. Okay? So kind of just play around with that. Now, point your left toes slightly in, not too much where it's 45-degree angle, because that's going to put a lot of pressure on the knee, but maybe like a 10-20-degree angle. Okay, so the back heel, your left heel should be the furthest towards the back of the mat. Okay, and then keeping your left knee straight, always put a micro bend if that's too much for you. Rolling this left hip. So your hips should not be squared. Okay, so if you try squaring your hips, there's going to be a lot of pressure on both knees. And you're going to notice this right knee pointing inwards. Okay, so the hips will not be squared. Your left hip, okay, you're going to roll this left outer hip in. So that you're going to feel the inner thighs rolling back. Okay, so the moment you do that, you should feel this deep stretch into this left hip flexor, and then your right knee starts to open up. Okay, so this right knee, if you gaze down at your right big toe, you should be able to see it. Right knee points out towards your right pinky toe. So I want you to focus on stretching your right inner groin all the way out towards the inside of that right knee. Okay, now coming back to this left leg, press the knife edge of that back foot. So you're not putting the pressure on your left big toe towards the inside of the arch. You're mostly putting strength into the knife edge of that foot. Okay, that way you should feel your inner ankle, your calf, and also your quads start to engage. Okay, so really firming down to the outside of the knife edge. Firm up the left quad, roll the left inner thigh back, the hip in, right hip slightly out, and opening up that right hip here. Bend the right knee points out. Okay, so that's your legs. Now, a lot of times, a lot of people dump all their weight into this right quad. I want you to put even strength into both legs. So this is why strengthening this left quad is important. But also try, without actually moving your foot, drag your right foot back towards your left foot, and drag your left foot into this right heel. So you're imagine you're pulling the mat towards each other. You're sucking everything in towards the midline of your body. Now you should feel even strength between two legs. Okay? Good. So legs right there. Now, always keeping the core engaged. So I'm going to kind of flip over to the side so you could watch me. A lot of times when students have really tight hips, especially a lack of hip extension, you're going to see this a lot. You're going to see the booty sticking out and the hips leaning back. Okay? So in that case, well, before we get into that, okay, so rather than sticking your booty out and leaning your chest forward, I want you to lift your torso, and this is where the tucking of the tailbone comes in handy, okay? So you hear that a lot with my cues, tucking the tailbone, okay? So we don't want this arch where the belly is soft. We want to lengthen the tailbone down where the core is engaged, okay? So now that way, as you tuck the tailbone, there's more hip extension. You're pushing the hips forward. Good. Okay, then once you do that, shoulders are stacked directly over the hips. So now you should notice there's more of that straight line rather than arching or rounding, okay? So just like your standing position, your mountain pose, everything is in a neutral stance. Now, if the hips are too tight and there's no way of tucking the tailbone, there's one thing. You could always shorten the stance, walk your feet in a little bit closer, stand up taller, and then lengthen the tailbone down, okay? So your stance might be just right here, okay? This is better with your tailbone tucked, opening up the hip with your shoulders over the hips and spine is long. Then widening the stance and leaning forward. Okay, so again, depending on your body. You know your body best, so play around with that. All right, so once your hips, or rather your spine is lengthened and your lower back is neutral, keeping your shoulders directly over the hips. So a lot of times you see students leaning forward. You want to draw the torso back, keep the shoulders over hips, okay? Then keeping the shoulders square. So you want to draw that left shoulder slightly back. Focus on widening through the collarbones. So you want to spread the collarbones out wide, spreading the chest out wide. Now, if you notice you're arching again, your front ribs right here. Okay, I'll show you the side view again. Again, if you tend to stick it out, I want you to place your hands on your ribs. And then the ribs right here, I want you to draw it in. So with your hands, you're bringing your fingertips in. Okay? So you're not sticking out the chest, drawing the front ribs in, but still widening through the collarbones, still tucking the tailbone, still lengthening through the side waist. There's a lot going on there. All right. So coming back to that warrior two. You're constantly readjusting, realigning your entire body. Little micro movements here, okay? From here, your arms are not relaxed. Shoulders are not relaxed. Energize through your fingertips, okay? Like you're trying to reach for the opposition. Really activating through your fingertips here as well. So if I were to press my arms down, they're not moving because they're strong and engaged. Okay? Good. Relax the shoulders. Lift up through the crown of the head. Perfect. Warrior two. Really nice. Okay, so obviously same thing on the other side. I'm going to demo extended side angle on the other side to give my legs a break. All right, so setting up the foundation. For your side angle pose, warrior two. You're going to start from that warrior two legs. Everything stays the same from the warrior two. Nothing changes. As you inhale, you're going to reach your torso forward. reach the arm forward. And then option 1, place your left forearm on top of thigh for extra support. Option 2, bring your hands to the inside of so the block should be inside of that foot. Hands should be directly inside of that knee. And your left wrist should be underneath the shoulder, okay? Option 3, obviously you could bring your hands to the floor, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and demo with the elbows on top of the forearms. Leg stays the same. Left forearm on top of thigh. Then you're gonna reach your arms all the way up towards the ceiling and keep this right arm active, okay? So you're not relaxing. Reach up, activate through the fingertips. There's a slight rotation through your torso. So you're gonna peel this right shoulder back as well as your right ribs go back, okay? So it's kind of like you're rotating, you're twisting. Okay, so I'm gonna start all over from warrior 2. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, extend a side angle. Left forearm down, right arm reaches up. Then peel the right shoulder back, roll the right ribs back. Notice if you're arching through the lower back again, lengthen the tailbone down towards the back of your right heel. Keep this back leg firm and active. Press the left knee out. Extended side angle. Good. Now for a reverse warrior, same thing, okay? So the leg stays the same. From your extended side angle, warrior 2 leg stays the same. Only difference for your reverse warrior is now a lateral stretch. So I'll start from warrior 2 to extended side angle to reverse warrior, okay? Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Okay, so you're gonna bring that right hand behind your thigh. Reach that left arm up and over your head. Okay, so this left arm is completely straight. You're not bending because you want to find that deep stretch, that length into that left side body. So I want you to always focus on reaching past the left fingertips. But notice if you're crunching that left shoulder up to the ear, you're going to drop it down, okay? Chin away from the chest. Leg stays the same. Peel this right shoulder back. Keep the tailbone tucked. Good. All right, so that's your warrior 2 to extend a side angle to reverse warrior. All right, and if you practice this at home, make sure to always do it on both sides. And what I like to do is I like to film myself too. That way you kind of can see how you look. And then once you start to build that foundation, then really start to pay attention to how it feels in your body. All right, if you have any questions, please comment below. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.